made plans to actually come to New York and do some work. And that's what happened on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, it was so memorable because that's where rigor mortis started. That's where we formulated the plans to try to become a super group.
Welcome to Musicians Reveal. This is a real treat as our next musicians were key musicians in my musical upbringing, especially radio. They are original members of Cameo, formerly of Cameo. They are the OGs of funk. Now their new band, The Word Up Story, is ready to hit the stage in Atlanta November 1st, and they are rehearsing and getting ready to bring the funk and roll to the stage. We welcome Gregory Johnson, Arnett Leftenant, his brother Nathan Leftenant, and Tomi Jenkins. They are
Hey.
Story.
What's up?
How's everybody doing?
Oh, good. Doing really good. Really well.
So,
How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm fine. You know, I'm talking to my musical idols, Cameo, and we'll get into the members of Cameo and all the history. But first, let's talk about currently going on. You've got a big show in Atlanta, City Winery. Other bands dying to get in there. I'm sure if this goes well, I'm sure it will, and you hit the other spots around that they own. But what's going in the rehearsals, and tell us what are you guys doing?
Man, we have been, well, interestingly enough, the band has started rehearsing since Nathan and Arnett are out of town. They're, living other places. The band is here in Atlanta mostly. So they started rehearsing on their own. And we, the four of us, and along with Jakarta, the other lead singer, Zoom rehearsal. We do choreography.
Okay.
Rehearsals by Zoom to make sure that we're sharp and go. We've been doing that for several months, even before the last gig we did in LA. So that keeps us nice and keeps the one mind focused on the work and what we need to do. So it's happening, man. We're ready.
You know, especially when you're building a show, it's important to look at every aspect from the smallest piece to the largest piece, which requires a lot of attention. And so we're clever guys, so we figured out a way of doing that, and it's working out really well.
Yeah, I saw the Mayfest gig that was out in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys, true to tradition, the Word Up Story, taking it to the stage. I mean, there's no slouching up there. Everybody's moving, singing great, and you got a pretty sizable band again. Talk about your current band. Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
How's the new band? Who else is in the band with you? And
oh God, we have Edsel Robinson, Dwayne, Lee Hurst, Depton Williams. I messed his name up. Ramoses Patheas and Aaron. Aaron, forgive me, but his last name always escapes me. But we've got a pretty large band. I think.
Don't forget Lomax.
Yeah.
You gotta mention
Lomax Smoke.
Great singer
can't
too.
leave Lomax out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we got guys, that have been with us for a while though. And it's been that kind of story since Cameo and us have split ways. I should say we are formerly of Cameo, for those who might have a problem with anything. But we are the band. Our whole concept has never changed. When we hit the stage, we take no prisoners. It's 100% each guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to ask Gregory Johnson a question right now because he's there he is. Kind of nice setup in his home. But Cameo has always had horns, and then they stripped it down to keyboards. And your current band has both. But How does a keyboardist work with the horn section to get the flavor to the Cameo sound?
Well, the keyboard's a separate entity. The horns are usually there to give that extra spark, as a horn part. Occasionally, I would duplicate what the horns are playing, but generally, our horn lines were independent.
Okay. Anybody want to add to
Yeah.
that? No, we'll move. Oh,
Well, when you look at it's a marriage, when you're working with horns and you're working with, with the rhythm section, it's a marriage. As Greg said, horns bring out certain, what I call key points in a song, whether it's rocking that rhythm or tearing a hole through the wall. It's an expression that horns do that just makes it a key thing. But as with any instrument, the horns can play melodies as well as chords. It really it's a mindset. You can do anything with just as long as you know your art and your craft. You can do anything.
And I would add to that, from Cameo's first start, we started out really largely a singing and horn group. So there were so many parts over the years out of the 18 albums that we did horn work, myself, Arnett, and others. That we can't do without it. You're only getting half the show if the
right.
horns on that show. So
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Because keyboards sometimes, when you have only keyboards doing horn sounds, that's
Right.
where you're missing the
yes,
actual instrument.
You,
You know, uh,
you're missing that
the
expression,
samples
as
are
I say.
real. I mean, the actual expression of an instrument, but keyboards have developed. I mean, keyboard sounds and samples have developed. Greg, you know this better than anyone. Have developed to the point where they're almost identical to actual horn sounds, but nothing beats the actual horn, man.
No,
Nothing.
you can't get the same inflections on the keyboard you can get with a horn, a saxophone. It's just no way, you know.
Well,
yeah,
You got to,
the
yeah.
right about that. Try as everybody might, and then it adds to the whole thing. A live show is live theater. When people come, they
Mhm.
want to be entertained, but more so than that, they want to be taken away. And that's what we really try to do using the horns, the theatrics, the special effects. And of course, wrapped around all those songs, the material, the whole catalog, it makes it for quite an experience.
Yeah, I've been to many a Cameo show, and the word up story from what I've seen online, nothing's dropped. These guys are the original members of the band, a huge band who put together great music as a team with a lot of other players, Larry Blackman and company, and Wayne. Talk about the catalog, getting a set list together. You guys have any discussions, heated discussions? We got to leave this out, and this one has to be there. How do you put together a show set list?
Oh
Not
my goodness.
necessarily, not heated, but we do have discussions. I mean, when you have a body of work as we do, there's always going to be something that's left out that you can't put in because of
Oh,
time, ever. That's always going to be an issue. So we do the best we can with as many of the hits that people know, because they do come to see the hits, and also some things that are not so that are great songs that are maybe B-sides or that
right,
have
that they
been
didn't
album
expect.
cuts. Because hey, you got big fans, you got a lot of fans who know the catalog, know the wrong song. You didn't play,
Yeah,
but you know.
we try to take the audience on a journey. It's not just about putting songs together. We're trying to take them through an experience from the beginning of the show to the end, so that they feel involved.
You got some dedicated fans out there who follow you everywhere and through the years. I mean, we're all getting older, and but you guys are staying lean and mean. What's the secret? Because you guys are ready all the time.
Well, I mean,
Clean living.
Clean living.
clean living, enjoying life, and we all still got work to do. I still practice every day without a day going by. So it's like I still
Starting
got
with
stuff I want to do.
When you love your craft, it's not even work as much as it is, with any musician, you always have goals, whatever that goal is for the day, for the month, whether it's, learning this particular scale and technique to this, it's endless. And that's a great thing about us. We're always open to everything. There's a lot of history with the four of us here in terms of music that helped to cultivate our minds, from classical to jazz to R&B to, when I say R&B, because you don't hear much R&B out there anymore. So it's great to work with these guys. It really is. It's a pleasure.
For those who go way back, I'm sure they know the history of the original members of Cameo. But for the neophytes, the group Cameo was like a chance meeting that you guys got together. You give a little synopsis of the Toronto story and how New York City players, for those that don't know.
Yeah, I can chime in there. We were Greg, Tommy, and Larry were the New York City players. And if you're from New York, so back in the late '70s, a lot of the New York bands would work in Toronto because that was a place where, especially for black music, you could still go and work as a band. So what happened was we I was up there with Gwen McCrae, George McCrae, and Casey and the Sunshine Band. We were all on that tour many years ago. And we were playing Toronto, so we all ended up at the same hotel. Larry and I met. We talked about doing a band. They were just starting to change our New York City players. And we all made plans to actually come to New York and do some work. And that's what happened on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And, it was so memorable because that's where Rigor Mortis started. That's where we formulated the plans to try to become a super group. And it was loving. I mean, from the time that we used to rehearse, and you're from New York, and for those who aren't, me and Arnett lived on Long Island. A lot of people look at New York at 5 boroughs, will look at Long Island as the sixth one. Tommy was from Jersey, so we all had to take the trains in every day.
Wow.
To make that rehearsal, horns and everything, and we did that for a long time before we had a gig. And rehearsed, and we, came up with ideas. It was quite the experience, from those rehearsals to dance rehearsals, to exercise rehearsals,
To horn rehearsals, to vocal rehearsals.
Vocal rehearsals.
That Long Island traffic, that's a tough drive sometimes.
Yeah, well, we did the Long Island Railroad.
Oh, good move. Yeah. I went out to the Hamptons for a show from Connecticut. That was a disaster.
Oh, that's a beast. Yeah, that's a beast.
Yeah. So you got together, and the new band had formulated, but you had to change the name. Another claim of a name, the Ohio Players. Have you talked with the Ohio Players years later about all that name change and everything?
We never talked about it. I talked to Diamond on Ohio Players just the other day, but we never talked about stuff like that.
I think there was always a controversy.
Yeah, there was always a controversy regarding Ohio Players. Is who started the owl thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, you guys want to chime in and settle this?
No, I don't.
I don't think it's ever settled.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna stay out that one.
Yeah, the last time I saw Ohio Players, they opened up for Morris Day and the Time at the Apollo Theater. That was a great show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I wanted to talk. This came to mind. Speaking about great double bills, Cameo and Rick James at the Hartford Civic Center. I know you probably don't remember Hartford Civic Center,
Oh,
but
hell yeah, I
Oh
do.
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
we remember.
yeah, that was a there was a union strike, and we had to wait for the show. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yep,
But
I do.
what tour
I
was
don't
that?
remember that. Well,
Yeah, I remember that, the
Yeah, I
union
do
strike,
remember
and
that.
the gig almost got canceled because of that. You know, because he couldn't load up the equipment and all of that and unload because people had to be paid. It was like, you know, it was I remember that. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
why I remember it.
that whole Rick James tour was really contentious. Rick was a great guy, but emotional. At times we got along, at times we didn't. We started the tour, it was sold out, and halfway in the middle of it, I think we split our ways, and Rick brought somebody else in.
Right.
But it was one of those things. Rick's record was number one, and Cameo's was number two.
Wow.
So it was that kind of thing. But it was
off the
competitive,
tour.
and it was a lot of fun.
Was that the Throwing Down tour for Rick?
No, I don't
No.
know. It was Freaky Dancing for Cameo.
Oh, okay.
Give it to me, baby, if I thought.
Yeah, it was Give It to Me,
Oh, okay.
Baby, and that particular album. But I mean,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was Give It to Me, Baby with what's her name?
Tina Marie on the
Yeah,
slow
Tina
jam
Marie.
Right.
on
Right.
Fire and Desire, right?
Hmm.
That's not
Yep,
uncommon to
yep.
hear Rick James contentious tour stories.
Yeah, it was.
I know Prince and him had like contentious stuff too.
Yeah, I almost got
Like
in a fist fight with Rick when the very first date, we were sound checking. I remember standing on stage and he came up there with, Rick had a lot of this, and he gave me some, and I gave him some right back, and before you know it, they said, all right, y'all just need. But we became good friends after that. We used to sometimes hang out during the wild days after the show.
Yeah,
And believe
those
me,
were
it was
wild
wild.
days.
there were wild days back then? No, just
Ooh,
messing.
wow.
No, those are mild days compared
Yeah,
to.
wild days. So, you talked about those big tours. I know you guys did a lot of big stadiums and Budweiser Superfest. Besides your own band, Cameo, what were some other bands that you were like, wow, we got to step up our game? Or you just happy to see? You want to go around the table?
Go around the
Yeah.
table. I got it.
Our
Go ahead.
first tour was with George. Probably,
George Clinton.
very first
Ah,
1976, 77 or something was with George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelic when he was doing the Flashlight and Mothership Connection and all that. That was for a year, and we opened
wow.
up along with the Barcades. And as the tour went on, we were doing so well, kicking so much ass that George moved us up to playing right
Middle.
before he did in the Barcades in the bill. The Barcades would open. That's how strong our stage performance was back then.
Very
Wow.
true.
So
Yep.
Very true.
year.
But the craziest one though, Tommy, was the Gap Band. That's where we had our trucks stolen, all our clothes stolen, our equipment stolen, so that we couldn't do a show. You guys remember?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
In Texas.
we were like this in terms of the competitive thing. Almost reminded of a hip hop band. It got so bad. Almost.
But
But
when I
Nathan,
look at
I think that
groups,
was the first
but,
that we ever.
but
I think that was sorry, Nettie. That was the first show that we ever did with our street clothes.
That's right.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
one photo with our street on because
We're
we didn't have any outfit.
bare
right,
chested
Wow.
in our jeans.
yeah.
Wallet sticking in your back pocket.
Yeah, right. It didn't go to the front yet, right?
Yeah. But we
Yeah, but
worked with
those were the days, man. I
but
mean,
when to
everybody was
answer
so
your
serious.
question though, we worked with people like Shaka Khan, the OJs, George Benson, And to say that any one of them were our favorite doesn't do them justice. It was a learning experience working with all of those icons, and you know, even the Commodores when Lionel Richie was still with them.
Well, yeah, I remember the Commodores because we picked up. They had confetti cannons, and we after we saw that, we said we got to get those.
We got to have them.
Have those.
Right,
We
right.
need them damn cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Flash took off like that. I mean, you guys definitely took it to another level. Whose idea was it for the I don't know if it was spandex or the jumpsuit that you guys had back then?
We
We had
had
a fashion designer,
Bernard
Bernard.
Bernard, and you know, he was just a fabulous designer. And his thing was, you're sleek men with a sexy body. I'm going to design clothes for your body, and so he came up with those designs.
He also designed for the Isley Brothers back
Yeah,
then.
and Broadway.
Right.
At
Wow.
the
Broadway,
time.
Yeah, he
right?
did a lot.
He did a lot of Broadway
Yeah, he did.
stuff.
Top notch. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
rest in peace,
I-
my man.
right. I got to thank you guys because 2 albums you talked about fashion, the back covers of Feel Me and Alligator Woman. When we started going to clubs, those records, you kind of looked at you guys, what you were wearing, and it's like, okay, maybe this would work, stuff like that. So thanks to you guys. I'm not joking. Between you and Slave.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. The Alligator Woman album, I mean, we all had crushes on Vanity, but she was on the record. I didn't even know she was on the record then, the cover. How did she get on the record?
She knew a couple of people. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
Vanity
She was the model,
Right.
and I
and her
forget how we
agent, I
got
guess, got
her.
her with us. Yeah.
Right.
She was a model, and
Yeah, she was.
I think the record company got the makeup for her.
Okay.
You know, designed the paint and all of the stuff. But I don't know
Yeah.
how that originated.
Definitely worked. I mean, it's a memorable cover. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those video days, you just the started going with MTV and New York Hot Tracks and everything like that. You guys hit your stride with some probably high budget videos at the time and Word Up and Single Life, my all-time favorite song by you guys. But Miles Davis coming into you, who I know was a huge fan of Cameo and wrote about it in his
Yeah, he
book.
was. He was. I like to talk about that for a moment.
Okay.
With the videos, our very first video that went on MTV was one of the first black videos they played was "We're Going Out Tonight," and Bruce Van Dusen was the director. And Bruce was a good guy, but we started running into problems with directors because we had our vision, and then they had the budget and what they wanted to do with that vision, and that became a problem for us. So we started not necessarily directing, but really directing. The whole idea was ours, and we get with a director who could, do those ideas. And we really had we really had a vast amount of experience. Alligator Woman, Flirt, and all that. We shot all those videos in one day. Now, when we got to Single Life, we were taking dance classes in New York for almost a year, and so we wanted to show that in some of the videos. We were the first group that had soap opera characters like Debbie Allen. I mean, not Debbie Allen, Debbie Morgan. What are the Hines brothers? Davey,
LeVar Burton.
yeah, LeVar Burton and all. We started bringing and we were calling. They said, "Hell yeah, Cameo, hell yeah." And
Yeah.
we would get them at scale. It wasn't no, I got to have 50 grand to do it. It wasn't that. They all just wanted to do it and loved just being real time with us out there.
Yeah, special time, definitely. When everybody kind of different points went their separate ways from the band, Cameo, how did you stay in contact, the four of you, constantly, or how did that work?
Yeah, we kind of did. We lost contact at times. we lost contact at times, and I want to go swing back around because I didn't answer your question about Miles.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Miles
that's right.
had contacted Larry and was interested. Larry sent him a song, I believe, is where it went. And then Miles said, "What do you got? Any ideas for me?" So Larry had a song, and we were in New York, and he said, "Nat, I want you to play the trumpet part, and just try to do what you can with Miles." And I'm like, "That's Miles Davis. What am I going to play that this guy?" You know what I'm saying? So then I
Right.
knew Miles wasn't really a pentatonic player. He almost was a chromatic player. You know,
Right.
and it was what the notes he used, not necessarily what he was playing. So I did the very best I could on the track that he's interested in. He liked it. When I finally got to meet him, he said, "Are you the cat that was playing the trumpet on my shit?" And I said, "Yeah, that was me, Miles." He said, "I like that shit."
Who
That's a
didn't
big
like
compliment.
Miles?
That was a big compliment.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
who didn't like Miles? You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, yeah. And he didn't pull any punches in his book that he wrote.
Oh
No,
no,
No.
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 If
Yeah,
Miles didn't like you, you knew it.
right.
And the
We had
bottom line, he didn't pull punches when he was alive. You know,
Right.
he kind of told it like it was from the beginning.
yeah, had Jay Beckenstein from Spyro Gyron. They did a tour overseas in Europe with Miles toward the end of his career, and he told some
Uh
stories like that.
huh.
Yeah.
And Miles would
Uh,
cuss a fan out. You know,
wow.
he was not intentionally, but don't come and ask him nothing stupid.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
So the Word Up story. We remind our viewers and listeners, wherever you're hearing or seeing this, that um, November 1st, City Winery in Atlanta. You'll be there. The
woo.
Word Up story, and I'm sure you guys have plans to further go out
Oh,
on the
we got
road when the dates come in. What's been going on in that sense?
Our schedule has picked up tremendously. Honestly speaking, we Dream Crew Management and us have formed a partnership, and it's starting to work out. And you know, we're just meeting the thing because by this time next year, you'll see all kind of things. Like we want to bring back the coffin on the stage with a lot more special effects. You know, that kind of thing. And we really, at one point, want to bring everybody who ever did an album with Cameo on certain songs. We want to put them on the tour to do those songs. And really, that's what the
And
Word
that's
Up
the
story is about. Go ahead, Tommy.
exactly. That's the idea of the Word Up story, to it originally started out, I think, in the mind of Nathan too, was a play, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah,
to
like a
to
musical
to
play. Yes, yes.
structure it as a play. And then, as he said, going through the history of the songs chronologically, when you have, the first album, second album, you have the guys who performed on the first album come in and do the songs they did. Whoever in the second, third, like that, whoever was performing, you bring in Charlie, you bring in, Anthony, you bring in all the cats.
Aaron
Unfortunately,
Mills.
Wayne's, but Dan
Right.
Wayne would be awesome to be alive right now to be a part of this whole thing would be like ridiculous. But that's the plan, right?
And we want to bring back that vibe because Cameo definitely was a phenomenon in terms of none of us, we wanted a super group, but we were realistic as young men. We didn't know it was gonna do what it did, and then when it did that, despite the ups and downs and the disagreements and all that happened, we put out some damn fine music,
Yeah.
and
Incredible.
we'd
Yeah.
like to bring those experiences back with the people where young people can see this is how it's done.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the other side of that coin is almost everybody's still here, and we've been in contact with the majority of them, and we look forward to really working out the Word Up story on stage and bringing all of those individuals back so that the audience gets to benefit and enjoy their favorite ones, so to speak. You know,
Yeah.
because everybody always had a favorite somewhere inside the group. You know, and so we look forward to that. It's been a pleasure to be able to come back and give the fans what they've been calling for years. I mean, I can't tell you how many times on social media I on my timeline alone, it was, man, when are you guys gonna come back? We want to see it. We want to see it. So we're really, 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 really happy that we've reformed our ties and our brotherhood, so to speak, because it really is a brotherhood. And we are enjoying every minute of it, and we intend to blow it out of the water.
Yeah. How about some cruise that you guys would be perfect to go on those cruises with all those bands,
We're
right?
working on it. We
Okay.
working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope you do. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, we're
Um,
working
Yeah,
on
for
it.
sure.
let me also, you talked briefly about Wayne Cooper, who, just was a
Brother
light that
Wayne.
passed through and he
Yeah,
passed
Brother
away at a young
Wayne.
age. What was Wayne like, and what was so special about his vocals?
You know,
Wayne was
Wayne's
natural.
falsetto. There was
Yeah.
nobody who had Wayne's falsetto. I mean, there's some great singers out there from Philip Bailey and others, and DeBarge brothers, and the just some talented. But Wayne had a range that was phenomenal. And you
Wayne,
know we utilized that, but what blew me, especially my brother and I, we were just messing around one day and we said, Wayne, sing something in your natural voice. Oh my God, when he did that, it was like,
yeah,
oh
he was natural. He was a natural outro or first tenor. His voice was phenomenal. He didn't. I saw a Earth, Wind and Fire video yesterday. They did After the Love Is Gone, right?
hmm
Okay.
Oh my gosh! And then I saw Reasons with Philip back in the day when they were Earth, Wind and Fire for real.
Right.
hmm
Philip Bailey, he was ridiculous, but Wayne Cooper. I mean, there's always that debate: Philip and Wayne, right? But
Yes.
Wayne
Yes.
Cooper, he blew everybody away. And I listen to him now and I go, oh my God, how could, it's incredible. And as a person, he
Mhm.
was a complex individual. He, you know,
We all know
that's
a
a nice
few.
Wayne,
way.
Yes,
That's
he
a nice
was.
way
Wayne,
of putting it. That's a nice
Wayne
way
was,
of putting
you know, he, but look, pure human being, right? Just,
Mhm.
there was no bullshit with Wayne. There
Yeah,
was no
organic.
fabric. There,
Organic.
there
it.
was no
100%. This is
100%.
it. This is what you got. You know,
Uh-huh.
That's
like
right.
it, love it, leave it. Here it is.
And you had
Um,
to love
and
him. We
well, you know, his personality was such that, and our personalities were such that we gelled without a problem. Even when we disagreed, we still gelled. That's what made it as good as it was, because we, again, I have to bring it back to when it's a brotherhood, you don't take things personal. You look at
Right.
it as constructive and you work on whatever those things need to be worked on, and we were very, very good at that.
Another
and the interesting.
oh, go ahead, Tommy.
Sorry,
No, you go ahead.
no, just one. Wayne was very interesting during that time too. Was the fact that he was gay, and
Mhm.
no one cared.
Right.
We didn't care at all. And
Right.
it's funny because as we going through, the career and the time period in which Wayne was here, nobody cared. The audience, nobody cared. Right?
Mhm.
It was so great that wasn't an issue with
Right.
definitely was an issue with us, but
Yeah,
with
it
the
was total
audience and with the
acceptance.
people who, it was acceptance, man, and that was a beautiful thing. That was
It
beautiful.
was, it was, and
Yeah.
he was a ferocious, second soprano, ferocious, and he could do things with his voice that other people could not. That's what made him who he was still to this day.
Yeah, yeah.
But while we're talking about it, I want to tell the audience about it was Tommy, who was it? Was it John Kelley at the time, Tommy, that was with us before we got Wayne? No, John wasn't there. We were looking for a high voice singer, and
Okay.
we held an audition at the Daily Planet in Manhattan. And we looked out there, and there was 100 people out there on that line. We said, "Oh my God,
Oh,
hey,
wow.
we didn't know that many people was gonna show up for it." I think Wayne might have been the 20th guy that came in there, and at that time, I think
No,
we were
Nat.
doing
Wayne was the third.
well.
Wayne
Okay,
was Wayne was the third.
at that time we were doing. I want. Oh, what was that? The Average White Band's "A Love of Your Own."
Okay.
That was the audition song. Wayne came in there, and when he hit that MF and all that, we all looked around. We were all, straight musicians. We said, "That's it. Tell everybody to go home."
Yeah,
True
you
story.
found the one. Yeah.
We knew we
Yep,
found.
true story.
That's it. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yep,
it was just one of those beautiful spiritual moments.
yep, without a doubt. That's absolutely accurate.
I wanted to ask you about because he was a good friend of ours, John Blackwell Jr. Did a stint with Cameo, and he told me the story when Larry called him at Berkeley and said, "You got an hour to make a decision," before he called his dad to get approval to go out on the road. How tough is it when you're working new members into the Word Up story? And back in the day with Cameo, the new players to get along with the program, what's the initiation or musical initiation?
None at all. I really do feel that way. From everybody you see here, when
Mm-hmm.
they came in, it was very similar to Wayne. That we looked at them and looked at their abilities, and then of course we're always gauging, is their demeanor the type that can work, in a big show. And all everybody fits like a glove. We really do. I know this is saying they were, oh, we're like family, but in this situation, we were like family. You have to realize when the time that we broke off from the whole original Cameo situation, and then when it fell into the lawsuit, we were struggling for work because nobody really wanted to choose a side.
Right.
And all our guys stay with us. They're with us now, except for one guy who just recently came in, and that's Dracar Landers. So I mean, everybody's still here, man. It's easy when it's easy and professional.
And you again having the same like mindset. Everybody's coming in to get the job done, to do a good job, to bring the professional attitude into the profession. And that's golden. And as Nat said, when you got a group of musicians who will stay with you for years without getting paid, with no money.
At times,
Right.
that was really true. When I was
That means that you're doing something right. And
Mm.
the Word Up story, our intent, and it will be that till the day we perish, is doing it right, doing it the right way, treating everyone with respect, courtesy, and with professional attitude.
I got to ask Greg Johnson back there. We see the keyboards. What for the musicians out there who maybe want to steal a thing or two? What kind of keyboards do you bring
excuse
on
me, guys,
stage
one
with
second.
Word Up
I
story?
still, I still basically keep the same keyboards. Mini Moog was my
Okay.
real master instrument, and Fender Rhodes. That's what I started out with. And now, you get keyboards with multi sounds. So that's basically my keyboard.
Everybody in the band, multi-talented. I'm sure you could like put your names in a hat and draw an instrument out and switch up every show because you guys are multi-instrumentalists. Before the Word Up story got back, as a whole, I know you all did some solo and different projects. If you want to go around the table here, I know Tommy, Velvet Note, I saw you with some young musicians doing a gig. What have you been doing in the meantime, other than Word Up Story, music-wise?
Well, I put out 2 CDs, and they are listed on. You can go to Apple Music and put in my name, Gregory Johnson, and take a listen to those.
Yeah, I've
Okay,
done
Arnett, Nate.
like 3.
With
sorry.
me, I wound up going into the educational sector for well over 30 years, and during that time I went back and got my doctorate. And so I actually got out of the music for that period of time and had not intended to get back into it. True story. If it wasn't for my brother, he came to me and it's like, no, we got to do this. And
Right.
so, it's been history ever since. But yeah, that's kind of what I did. And even though it's great to come back and to have that horn in my hands and feel that energy, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Thank
I
goodness
went
for
back.
your brother. Oh, Tommy.
Well, for me, it's slightly different. I've written 2 books, unpublished so far. I haven't even been looking for them. I just like the work, and a couple of sitcoms. So we're currently messing around with some stuff now. We'll see.
And also you podcast you were doing, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was
Yeah.
doing that radio show. That was
Yeah.
a lot of fun because I could just be me, and I dealt with that. And strangely enough, the people that the producer show kept saying, "Why you keep getting people on?" I said, "Because I wanted to meet and talk to these people about their careers."
Right.
So it was an interesting show.
Tommy.
Yeah, I went back and got my bachelor's in composition for music and got my master's in piano performance from Manhattan School of Music.
Wow.
So I still got work to do.
Yeah.
Still,
So I'm not going to
Yeah,
ask
never
if
stop
you can
learning.
read the charts or not, because you can read the notes, I'm sure.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you have to.
But a funny story is, when I was taking piano lessons, my my teacher thought I was reading the music, but I would ask the teacher, I said, "Well, can you play this song for me?" And he would play it, and I would be able to play it back. I wasn't reading the music. He found out later I was playing by ear.
Wow.
Now that's strange, but that's true because everybody was pretty well accomplished in Cameo. From the most of the guys could read and write and were jazz players in their own right.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I
for
did.
those
Tommy.
people,
Yeah. Okay. Tommy,
I'll
you've
say,
been busy writing books and also recording music. So
Yeah,
what's been going on?
yeah. I did 3 solo albums, self-produced, along with Lee Hurst. Helped produce. He's our bass player for the Word Up Story, but he's also a wonderful producer and a musician and producer in his own right. So I did 3 albums with him, and wrote. I'm working on my 4th book now, so trying to finish that bad boy, which is I'm right at the end. It's actually a sequel to my first book, but I'm doing some interesting things with the AI as far as my last book is concerned. I'm working with Tony, Nat, and Arnett and Greg, and some AI situations for my book. I'm trying to make it live action. I'm going to do a web series on
Wow.
on my book, which is a crime thriller kind of thing. Yeah, it's I'm working on it now, man. It's going to be something no one's seen before, man. It's going to be crazy. So
you sound
looking
like Trump
forward to it.
there.
Huh? What'd
I
you
said
say?
you sound like Trump there. It's gonna be something no one has seen before.
I know. That's why I said that.
Yeah. Right.
You don't need to blame him.
Wow. So, any formative plans to get the word up story making music as a band?
Yes.
Maybe
Yes,
so.
yes, of course.
Short answer,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, we're gonna
That
kill
means they
that
ain't
game
gonna.
too.
They're not. That means they're not going to divulge anything ahead of time. That's
No,
good to know. You,
No,
yeah,
not at this time, but yes.
not at this time, but definitely that's on the burner,
right.
as well as some other things, but we don't want to say what that is right now.
Right. Keep them guessing and teasing and interested. Where can our viewers and listeners, the best spots to hit you up on social media and find out all about the Word Up story and what's going on?
Facebook page. We have a Word Up Story Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok page, YouTube page, as well as our own website, which is www.thewordupstory.com.
Yes.
And I gotta
So we're
thank Roxanne, who's working the media for you and doing a great job. So thanks,
Oh
Roxanne.
yeah, Roxanne.
Roxanne, as well as Jane Stone. We
Jane
would be
Stone.
remiss. Yeah,
Okay.
Jane Stone as well is in there.
Yeah,
Acting
Jane
with,
Wait.
Stone too. Jane Stone. Woo,
yeah,
woo, woo.
doing their damage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Roxanne, you can't say Roxanne without saying it twice. Roxanne,
that's
Roxanne.
right. Yeah. You're going back on there with some good hip hop there.
Yeah.
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 That's right.
So we're looking forward to finding out more gigs that you'll be adding to your itinerary. You guys are still out there, and it's great. And it's great to see that, you guys are doing well and happy and out there, and the fans especially be happy. And starting this November 1st at City Winery in Atlanta, GA. And Tommy, you can walk to the gig, right?
Uh,
Get your ticket.
no,
Just
no,
kidding.
you don't walk anywhere in Atlanta.
Okay.
Unless
Yeah, that's
you're in
right.
a big spot.
Isn't Stockbridge in Georgia a big music town too?
Yes, yes, Stockbridge Amphitheater. My friend Ekanuel, he's been a part of that management and booking team for ever since they started it. So yeah, I've been trying to tell them to get us in there, but they always booked up, the whole year in advance. But I think next year we may be doing some things there. Hopefully,
And the Montreal Jazz Festival. You get Montreal in Canada. You make your return. They got a great festival up there for music.
Oh, yes. I would love to go back to Montreal.
Yeah.
Eh?
So, yeah, that's right. So I got to thank the Word Up Story. Great guys, tremendous musicians, and all these years, 50 plus or so. I don't know the exact number, but it's been a long time of great music, and honored to have everybody on the show. Greg, Arnett, Nathan, and Tommy, thank you so much.
Peace.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
Joe.
having us.
It's a pleasure.
man.
All right, everybody, go see the
right.
show.
Right.
Go to
Yes,
the Word
come
Up
visit
Story.
us. Come see us.
That's right. Thank you,
November
guys.
1st.
November 1st.
Get your tickets.
Get your
All right,
tickets now.